On my big picture this week, Paul had mentioned it in his own, talking about the NBA lottery and talking about a player in particular that the 76ers drafted, Ben Simmons. And Ben Simmons has been pretty infamous over the last 2 years for sitting out, not really having a passion for the game of basketball, really not seeming like he cares whatsoever. And he is not alone in the vitriol in many circles across the sporting world. Kyrie Irving, in his own right, not only for his refusal to get a vaccine, that other individuals who felt the exact same way that he did fell in line and followed through, but he also has had a bit of a problem and a bit of a rough season this year. And ironically, they both were on the same team. And there's been a lot of discussion after the Nets season has been over about these two individuals. And one person in particular that's been really on top of this, Stephen A. Smith, who has been absolutely based in how he has been reacting to what these two have done to the image of the game of basketball, has been pretty nice to hear from someone like him. And one thing that has kind of been a fallout of that is that Kyrie Irving's shoe deal with Nike is now falling through. It is now lapsing. It's ceasing. And what's significant about that is that Kyrie Irving, for sneakerheads out there, they know that like Kyrie's shoe was a very big seller for Nike. It was one of the top brand name branded shoes for athletes that was out on the market. And the fact that Nike is considering having this contract lapse, it's pretty significant. So what we have here actually is some audio from Stephen A on that topic about the image issues that these two individuals have brought to the NBA. So this is courtesy of ESPN from First Take, and let's hear what Stephen A has to say about it.
It is sending the right message without question. Because what it's saying is that what does it matter if you're not on the basketball court? We need you to play. And see, this is the hard part about all of this other stuff. Listen. People are not going to get it. I don't give a damn. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep saying it because the lives of the many outweigh the lives of the few. And I bring that up because we're not taking into account the irreparable harm the Ben Simmons and Kyrie Irvings of the world have done to the game of basketball. Ben is a star. Ben can't shoot. He got to overcome that. There's nothing else about his game that's less than star status. His ball handling skills, basketball IQ, his ability to finish at the basket, his athleticism, his defensive prowess. He was my vote for Defensive Player of the Year that last season. Ben Simmons is legit. Kyrie Irving is not good. He's not great. He is spectacular. The brother is box office. He is special. Okay? But Nike is saying, what good is all of that if we don't see your special skills put on display? If you're not playing the game of basketball, what good are you to our product? And we have to take that into consideration, and we have to stop ignoring it, because I am assuring you, I am promising you, I have covered this league for over a quarter century. I know most of these owners. I know the commissioner. I know the league office. I know executives. They are coming.
That's just strong words coming from Stephen A, not really mincing how he feels about it. And this is not the only time that he's spoken on this subject about Kyrie Irving. And it's something that the NBA has had to reconcile with in terms of players sitting out on major marquee games, all those rest days and things like that have been happening, especially lately in the NBA. And the significance of these players and the image problem that Stephen A is talking about is the fact that the NBA athlete out of all sports right now is the one that is the least respected. They are seen as prima donnas who just get their money. They don't care about the game. I mean, you have individuals like Giannis and Luca who are kind of helping a little bit with that. I mean, Luca kind of complains about fouls all the time. But, you have this younger guard, primarily of European descent, that are wind up actually doing a little bit of help in that regard. But you have a lot of these other players who they just look like they don't care. They look like these shoe deals, like the game itself, all this reputation, the thing that Michael Jordan and Larry Bird and Magic Johnson cared about so much was their legacy within the game. I talked last week in my big picture about Winning Time, the documentary series about the Showtime Lakers, and there is just no miswords about it. These guys cared about the sport, all of them, top to bottom. Yeah, Kareem had an acting career. Yes, he had other ambitions, but Magic was able to spark something within him to be like, I want to be the best. And lo and behold, he's the top scorer in NBA history because of it. And these guys, Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons, and when you have individuals like Stephen A, who are coming out and saying these things about what they are doing to the image of the game of basketball, my big picture's overall point is that the NBA needs to reconcile with this. This is a major issue. And if you have guys who just straight up don't care, I mean, Paul mentioned not only Ben Simmons, but James Harden as well. Harden has, I would argue, has done the most damage to the game of basketball of any single player in its history. He has been terrible for the sport, just top to bottom. The way he played the game, the way he traveled like an MFer, the way that he just didn't care about himself and his game in the offseason, how he looked in the playoffs, just his bleed over effect, how much he's kind of tainted the water, so to speak. And now you have guys like Kyrie and Ben Simmons doing the same sort of stuff. This is something that the NBA needs to reconcile with, or else the image problems with their players is not going to go away.
Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what? Yeah.